Listen, good morning. I'm Freddy Vasquez. This is Basement Politics, the morning rush hour. I need someone to help me. Volunteer. Do something good for the community. I need a technician. I am Freddy Vasquez. This is Basement Politics, morning rush hour report. And that was not my horns, but if your horn sounds like that, you are very magical. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm Freddy Vasquez. This is Basement Politics on your morning rush hour report. News and weather update. Here in the city again. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Wake up, folks. If you're not awake and already on your way to work, you better have the day off. Okay? You better not just be lazy. I'm kidding. You do whatever you want. Current temperature is 46 degrees and it is raining if you haven't noticed. Grab your umbrella. You will need it for the next 2 days at least. Now they're saying 3. Friday, 60% chance of rain. That was going to be a nice day as of yesterday. However, it's going to rain. It's going to rain today, 100% chance. Tomorrow, 70% chance. Friday, 60% chance. And we may see some sun on Saturday. I'm sorry to bring you the bad news, but I like rainy days because I get to stay home and think, which I need to do more often because I'm being driven crazy here. Anyway, folks, good morning. I'm Freddy Vasquez. That is your local temperature, 46. The high of today will be 53, but carry your umbrella. Otherwise, you'll be getting wet. I do want to go over yesterday's city council meeting. Yeah, did anyone get a chance to see the real estate committee meeting chaired by our boy Rubo, councilman over the 4th district? And I want to talk to you guys about it because they are talking about more developments, affordable housing, and Carolyn, if you're watching, Carolyn is a big supporter of the senior population here in the city of Yonkers. I support you guys too. It's not just Carolyn, although she does a much better job at supporting you guys, and I mean that sincerely. She does. So I wanted to let you know that they are talking about senior living, senior assisted living there on Warburn. Actually, it's Woolworth or Ravine. And that was the controversy. There was a little bit of controversy there recently, sometime last year, I believe, over the fact that they were not hiring. There was a project going up there on Ravine, and local labor was not being hired, was not being utilized on the project. And I did bring on the Teamster 456 to discuss. I actually recently shared that podcast again. That one did pretty well. People were interested. Why are you not hiring our local guys? Folks, if you don't know, the YIDA is the Yonkers Industrial Development Agency. They are tasked with bringing developments and economic growth to our city or any city where an IDA operates with the goal of economic improvement. But the number one priority of the IDAs here in the state of New York, and particularly Yonkers, is to foster the growth of jobs, sustain jobs, prevent job loss, right? So when they do projects here in developments and local labor, such as the local 3 guys and gals. And when I say guys, sometimes I may include women. I don't know if you guys want that, but whatever. And Teamsters 456 were not included, right, on that project. However, they did receive IDA benefits, and that was a big issue. They did protest, and I was there. That's why I met the guys for the first time. So now the individuals who are building that development down Ravine, and I believe it was maybe Point, a company by the name of Conifer, were back at the city council chambers again, speaking on another part of their project. Part 2, I believe it is, their expansion. They're looking for approval from the real estate committee and, the city council. And I mean, just hear how they talk. I'm a salesman. My first job was at the age of 14. Well, I was always working, but I mean, legal job was at 14, and I used to sell newspaper subscription. Yes, not here in New York, and I did okay, and I learned sales, and from there, I even sold $1,000 vacuum cleaners. Yes, Kirby vacuum cleaners, door to door. So imagine some guy showing up and say, "Hey, would you like to buy a $1,000 vacuum cleaner?" And I did okay with that. So sales, I understand it, and when people are trying to sell you on something, I can spot it a mile away, and that's what they're doing here in the meeting, and I want to share that with you guys. Again, I do this because it's important, and many people may not understand it. Hell, it's not that easy to. I had to rewind it myself a few times just to get what they were saying. But I want to go over that meeting. Let me just put it on my other page here. There we go. And Mr. John Rubo is the chair of the real estate committee, and that has not been without its controversy. His landlord over at the Yonkers Brewing Company is a developer by the name of AMS. And now, as the chair of the real estate committee, he does make decisions on projects being presented and brought forth to the committee by AMS, and he gets to vote on them. Will he ever vote against AMS? Would you ever vote against your landlord? Anyone? Anyone? And if you have the power to vote on issues that will impact your landlord, specifically in his pocket, where most people get hurt, right? Will you not negotiate a better rent for you? Would you not? Makes sense. Anybody would. But when you're an elected official, it's not okay to do so. Let's see the leases, Rubo. Let's see the leases.
Affordable housing.
Yeah, let's talk about affordable housing. Like that's
in addition, so we'll start with that. So with us this afternoon, we have Mr. Michael Curdy from Harris Beach representing the IDA. We have Mr. Matt Gallagher from Corporation Counsel.
Did you guys hear that?
Wins. Freddy wins.
You know why I win? Because I'm going to point something out there. He mentioned a gentleman by the name of Michael Curdy from Harris Beach. Let me bring myself back up. I need to get bigger. Listen, Harris Beach is in the mix. So much so that they were involved in the whole Rubo and Carlos Burgos fiasco in the elections last year. Right? When some masseuse, some freelance masseuse hired Harris Beach, the very law firm that is here present in front of, well, at least in the video, in front of the city council once again, representing the IDA, the YIDA, Michael Curdy, but they also represented the masseuse who challenged Carlos Burgos' signature, but not just his. He challenged a gentleman by the name of Abdul, I believe. I'm sorry, the last name, but he also wanted to run in the 4th district for city council, and both he and Carlos were challenged by some freelance masseuse that we have yet to ever see. This is like a mystery man. Does he even exist? Does the masseuse exist? And where did he get the money to hire a prestigious law firm like Harris Beach to challenge the signatures of those who oppose Mr. Rubo, Sugar Booger Candy, up your nose, allegedly, and in my opinion? That's right. And here they are again in front of John Rubo, the councilman from the 4th district, who had his mother go out and convince residents over in the 4th district to approve some renovation, restructuring, or whatever of some garages over there that they had opposed initially. But once Rubo's mom went door to door, somehow they changed their minds. All but 2. But it's enough to get this through. And also, the owner of that garage contributed to Mr. Rubo's campaign. So, is that why his mommy and you grown-ass men, Liam, Mr. Rubo, with your moms all in the mix? You are grown-ass men. Why is your mother's all in the mix? I'm just asking, okay? Time that you take care of mommy, okay? Not mommy take care of you. All right? So that's a conflict of interest. Once again, we have the same individuals. We have Harris Beach, we have John Roubeau, all in the mix, right? And now he's going to be presiding over this. And you think he's going to say no? Come on, folks. Don't be silly.
And Lee Ellman, the Deputy Director of the Planning Department. We also have Roger Pine of Conifer and James Simmons of Cure, a local affordable housing developer. So welcome, everyone, and we look forward to...
Conifer, again, Conifer is the developers that are developing down there on Ravine. Local union guys were protesting them, 456, Local 3 and others, because they were not using local labor. However, they were receiving YIDA benefits, and that's technically a no-no.
To your presentation. Thank you.
Okay.
One of you go.
Thank you, Chairman, and good afternoon, everyone. Michael Curdy, Harris Beach, Transaction Counsel for the City of Yonkers IDA. I first want to say it's very nice to see you all again. It's been quite some time, and it's very nice to be back in the City Council chamber once again.
I'm sure it is, Michael. I'm sure it is. Did you defend the masseuse? Were you the guy?
The best way to describe this project is the Phase 2, and what I mean by that is...
He said the best way to describe this project is Phase 2. Although technically it's an entirely new project. It's not a Phase 2, but he wants you to believe that because it will make it seem like, oh, it's all one. No, it's not all one, because they don't want you to see that all one contractor is the one developing multiple projects, multiple sites. Contractors, or developers, I should say, that are not using local labor, yet, as you will hear here, receiving YIDA benefits.
This council may recall that you authorized the transfer of certain property on Point and Ravine that was owned by the city back in 2019 to facilitate the development of an affordable housing development that was handled by both Conifer and also Mr. Simmons. In June of 2020, the city entered into a memorandum of understanding with Cure, with Mr. Simmons' group, to sell 11 lots that are located on both Warburton Avenue and also Woodworth Avenue. Those 11 lots are the matters that are here before you today. And on those 11 lots, the developer is proposing to develop senior housing, senior affordable housing, 62 plus housing, approximately 92 units. The transaction will model the transaction that was successful in the Point and Ravine development, which is currently under construction.
Now, he said that this will be senior housing, right? 92 units of senior housing, senior affordable housing, 92 units. He said that. Now, just keep that in the back of your mind, what he said there, and then I'll discuss a little bit more.
They're well underway, and I believe Mr. Pine can speak a little bit about how they are progressing insofar as that project is concerned. This project, similar to the Point and Ravine project, will have any consideration or any payment that's made to the IDA transferred to the city. In this case, the purchase price will be $1.90 million. That is based on an appraisal that was conducted by the city. So the city will be receiving fair market value for this property in addition to the benefits of the affordable housing. The applicant, in this case, the joint venture between Mr. Simmons' group and also...
So the city actually is there looking to approve the sale of these 11 lots, 11, pieces of property there to the city, which owns it currently, will sell it to the YIDA. Okay, so they're going to sell it to the YIDA. Now, if you have been following the podcast and what's been going on, I spoke about 60, I believe it's 66 and 70 Pierce Street that was recently sold or was in committee here for the sale of it to YIDA for $375,000, a property that's probably worth well over $1 million. But the YIDA, right, it's a city agency, isn't it? I don't know. It's kind of quasi, as they like to say, quasi-governmental. And I'm going to be finding out more. I'm going to be speaking to some people, hopefully, even today, regarding the YIDA, because I want to present it. Please explain it clearly to me. But they're going to sell that property and then ultimately to a developer who will develop it over there on Pierce Street. That one's going to be 36. Now, here's the same thing. It goes from the city of Yonkers, which currently owns the property. Some of the properties are privately owned, but a majority, for the most part, are city owned, and it's going to be sold to the YIDA. Now, I didn't hear the amount. I didn't go through the entire meeting. It's over an hour, but it's going to go to the YIDA first. From the YIDA, according to what the gentleman just said there, it will be sold or somehow to the developer, that they will be transferring $1.9 million to the YIDA, which he says will go to the city, and that is the fair market value for those lots. I don't know about that. I don't know exactly which of the lots specifically, but a little, just under 2 mil for 11 lots. That's highly in demand. That's in high demand right now. They're doing all this development. You got the Lionsgate there. They're expanding. A lot of things are going up. That right there can be sold for at least 5 mil. Okay, 5 mil, and then they say it's fair market value, but the market value was determined by the city. Is the city are they professional realtors? Are they in the real estate? Oh yeah, they are in the real estate business. But can they appraise it accurately? I don't know. Who did they use? He just said the city. But I think that those properties, and if you get an independent appraiser from somewhere outside of Westchester, hell, let's get them from California. That's how far you have to go to appraise that. I'm sure they will come up with a higher thing. But anyway, it's going to go there, then to the developers who will develop it for 92 units of affordable senior housing, is what he said. And I'm going to go over the income requirements that they will have for these new developments, according to what they say. Let me just play a little bit more.
So Conifer is pursuing what's known as 9% tax credits to develop the property. The best way to describe those tax credits, since it is tax time, is that there's tax deductions and there's tax credits. Tax credits are beneficial to taxpayers because they reduce your tax liability on a dollar-for-dollar basis. What happens in order to incentivize investors to develop affordable housing, they will provide funds, and those funds would be used to develop the housing. In exchange for them, they receive the benefit of the tax credits. So they have an app.
Who will provide funds? You see how very vague that was? And then he said tax credits are good for taxpayers because they reduce your tax liability. But he's not talking about us, right? So when you listen to him, you think he's talking about us. It's great for us. Yes. Tax credits are good for people, right? You get the child tax credit stuff, but in this instance, in this context, he's talking about the developer, that it's great for them. It's a benefit to them. 9%, which is, according to the city council president, who speaks in a minute, in a little bit, is very competitive, because on average, they give up to, the average is 4%. So these guys are getting 9% tax credits, right? Even 5% more than the average, because that's a competitive. Or who are they competing with? There's no competition here. It's whoever's decided, all right, to get that you're going to be blessed to move forward. There's no competition. And again, Conifer is the guys developing over there. They were recently protested by local labor. And then you have this L. Simmons guy, and I'll talk to you about him and Cure a little bit, local guy or something like that.
Application that's pending, they had to file on 3/31. The IDA had to sign a contract of sale with the Warburton Avenue LLC, which is the entity that they've created in order to handle the project.
So I want to understand this. I'm sorry that I keep cutting off, but I have to break it down for you folks. I have to. He just said that the YIDA, who's buying the property, the Yonkers Industrial Development Agency, that's buying the property from whoever currently owns it, or from the city, I should say, the city, and some of them are privately owned, right? It has created a separate entity. They created a separate entity called Warburton Avenue something LLC, a limited liability company. Now, that is a for-profit company. Now, I get sometimes why people do that, right? If you're buying a piece of property, right? Like I have a real estate company, but if I buy a property, I will put it under, let's say, 110 Yonkers Avenue LLC, and that's so that if something happens there at that property and people want to sue, they're not going to be able to sue the entire company or the big company, the umbrella company and stuff like that, right? They just sue that specific company. And it's just a smart business thing to do. You protect your assets, it's just protecting yourself from liabilities. It's just part of the game, right? So they're creating this separate entity. So I'm wondering, is it, excuse me, being done to protect the YIDA in the event something goes wrong in this transaction or they're sued? That would be the primary reason. But why not just do it under or as the YIDA? Why is it that they have to create? And again, I'm sincerely, genuinely asking, why is it that the YIDA has to create a separate for-profit entity in order to facilitate this transaction? Because that worries me. Because if the money is paid, right, to this separate entity that's created by the LLC, which is a for-profit company, basically, then in a way, the city of Yonkers, the taxpayers of Yonkers, the residents, everything that's official of Yonkers is now out of the equation. But that's before the $1 million, almost $2 million deal and money is exchanged. So at that point, the city-owned property now is in the hands of private entities for an extremely low price. And we are hoping, right? Supposedly, they're supposed to pay that $1.9 million to this entity, which will transfer it over to the city and the taxpayers, because that's technically our money, taxpayers. That's our money. But is this separate entity going to truly transfer all of it, give it to the taxpayers, or will they skim some off the top? I mean, it's going through private entities. We will not have access to that information. So why doesn't it stay throughout the entire time, attached to the city for our protection? I'm just saying. Now we put it in the hands of individuals in a private situation. And again, and I could be all the way wrong, and somebody can come on and call me or text me or whatever and set me straight.
That contract is contingent upon the
like to
city
be set
council
straight.
authorizing the local law that would allow the transfer to the IDA and then the IDA to the developers in order to develop the project. I will note for the record that the local law before you does have a reverter clause within it. If the project is not developed within 7 years, then the property would revert back to the city of Yonkers. And that's to guarantee and to ensure that the development occurs. But we have every confidence that it's going to happen.
7 years, that must have changed. And I could be wrong again. But wasn't it like a year that they would give them to have to develop it, especially if they were getting it for they're saying that it's market value. But listen, I want to bring my own appraiser in to make that determination. But 7 years? So that tells me, because they're not even finished with that first development that they're working on down there. I just drove by there, I think yesterday or the day before. And it's going up, but it's nowhere near complete. I would say they probably have about maybe 30% of it done, 25 to 30%, maybe less, 20% to 30. And so we're talking about a second deal already. And now they get 7 years to develop it. So when will that be completed? Will a lot of people already be out of Yonkers by that time, because they won't be able to afford to wait until these affordable housing for the seniors are developed so they can move into them? And will they truly be affordable? And I'll get into that in a second.
Ravine is a good example, and that was our phase one, and now we're focusing on phase two. That sums up the project, and I'll turn it over to Mr. Simmons and Mr. Pine to talk a little bit about the project itself.
Hello, thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee members. Appreciate the fact that we're here and you're taking this into consideration. This project here is a 94-unit development, as Mr. Curdy just said, senior development 62 plus. I'm going to let Mr. Pine talk more about the project. We'll just give quick background. So this is a project that CURE, Center for Urban Rehabilitation and Empowerment, myself, the executive director, have been working on for over a decade. We were able to form a great partnership.
So what is CURE? What he's talking about here, that gentleman there that you see talking is James L. Simmons. As executive director, James has worked tirelessly to build strong, honest, and successful relationships with development partners. Because of his experience in housing and development, James was appointed by the mayor and served as a board commissioner for the Yonkers Municipal Housing Authority for a 5-year term. Okay, James. James has created and operated work training programs for community residents that allow them to engage in redevelopment of their communities. I love how they try to sell it to you. He has established relationships with various federal, state, and local agencies that have assisted his organization with loans. He says it right there, with loans, grants, and letters of support. Okay. As executive director of Cure, James is hands-on in the Cure operation, performing duties that incorporate administrative and financial management. He has successfully led Cure in becoming a respected affordable housing organization in Westchester County and continues empowering communities by leading his organization, whose mission remains to provide clean and safe affordable housing for residents in the inner city urban areas. Folks, I know somebody said, hey, Freddie, don't attack and I don't attack anybody. And if you feel attacked, that's your own problem. That's your issue. Listen, I'm on the computer here. You know, I'm not in front of you. He said the nonprofits or whatever. Folks, please. Okay? Freddy is just a person that gives it to you straight. People like me, 50% of the people like him, 50% of the people don't. Right? But that's because I give it to him honest. Honesty is not always welcomed by people. Listen, nonprofits are not always good. And I will tell you two examples right here in the city of Yonkers. One organization stole my money. I donated. They asked, and they ended up taking more, even though they said they would return the difference, and I never got it back. But I never said nothing. I mean, they knew because I asked multiple times about it, and I was assured I would receive my money, but I never did. But it's all good because that's something that I hold on to. And also, another organization, well, I don't even know if they're real. A gentleman reached out to me, and he's well known. He's well known here in the city of Yonkers in politics, within the parties, and tried to get money out of me for some organization that I have never heard of. And when I try to look it up, I could find barely any information on it. They were saying they were doing some event. Didn't see much on the event. They wanted some serious dough. And then after the event, I said, hey, how did that event go? Oh, well, why are you asking about that event? It already passed. You didn't help out. What? Is that how you respond? I wanted to know about it because I want to feel comfortable if I'm going to give people money that they are actually doing the right thing and not just stealing it and putting it in their pocket, especially when they are an organization, an individual that has not done anything before or no one's ever heard of. And this individual has never done anything else again, has never even been around. You don't see him. You don't see them. It was like this 2 tag team con artist guys. You know who you are. You came to me asking for money, and maybe you do something, but where? Show the proof. You ask for money. So please, folks, please don't be manipulated. Anytime money's involved, you should surely expect that there's potential for something not so good to be going on. Okay. And that's 2 examples right here in the city with people that are known in the community. And I'm not going to say their name. I'm not going to say the organization because I don't care. The point is that I will speak about anything and anyone that is doing something, to the people of the city of Yonkers, something that they should not be doing. I'm going to speak on it. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Mother Teresa. But if you're stealing from the people, I'm going to tell you, Mother Teresa stole. She's not a nice lady. I hope that's not the case. Little Pearl on the Hudson. This is a development that the Cure has been involved in. That's their one and only project, I believe, $3 million project. So again, you try to see what else these guys are doing, but you know that, maybe they got more here. Freddie, don't be so cruel. Nope, just one. Okay, so if you look up here, this is what it's going to look like in that ravine area. That's what they're trying to make it to. again, I'm going to go back to what they say in regards to the cost.
With the Conifer Group to develop these properties here. One of the things I want to say that's unique about...
Are you guys the developer or what? Because you guys have partnered up with the Conifer Group, right, to develop these properties, but are they local labor? Absolutely not. Are you not getting 9% tax abatements, tax incentives? So why are you not using local labor? Hey, local 456, local 3, you hear that? Once again, and this guy's supposed to be a local guy. He tries to give us some nonsense about, oh, we use these WME or whatever, but you have to understand the way they spin it, right? So let's, for example, say I'm a developer. I want to sell you on an idea. So I'm going to tell you that I'm going to hire people from the community, and I'm going to hire 20 people from the area in this development. What I'm not telling you is that I'm hiring them. I'm just hiring them for one day because I need about 20 guys to remove all these bags of garbage that are in the back here and clear it out. So might as well give it to some guys here locally, right? That's it. That's all they're doing. But so they won't tell it to you like that because you'll be like, what the hell was that? You know, that's some BS. So that's, they put it in ways, you know, again, it's all sales tactics, right? Supposed to be a local guy, done one project here, but he's partnering up with Conifer. Why do you have to partner up? You're not capable of doing this yourself. And Conifer, are you guys going to hire local labor? Are you going to hire our local girls and men and women? Are you? Because you're putting up the projects here that many now cannot afford. You should at least hire them. That's just what I say.
This project for me, first of all, like I say, it's the best project in the city of Yonkers. And the reason why I say that is because it's one of the only projects that is being done with a homegrown person that's involved in it. I'm 100% involved in this project, and we make the perfect team. Like we're doing down on Point Street, we are involving community residents. We have involved local MBE contractors, and they're very committed to have these people working on this project. So that's one of the key things that we have going on right now with this project. Fact? All right.
I'll keep it very short.
So he said they had local people working on those projects. They're very proud of that fact. However, that's not been the case. And he's not very specific on exactly what he means by that. Let's listen to this guy, and then I'll wrap things up here in a
The
second.
project is comprised of 15 lots, so the 11 city lots as well as privately owned lots that...
15 lots, 11 city-owned lots, and 4 private lots.
Cure and Conifer has acquired to develop the site. As you can see here, it's on the corner of Warburton and Point. Will be the main building here. The other lots here are on Woodward Avenue through the process to meet all the deadlines.
But I had questions.
92
Pearl.
and hearing impaired individuals.
I want to just play that real quick.
From 30% of your area median income up to 80%.
I'm sorry.
92 unit, 100% affordable project that will be affordable from 30% of your area median income up to 80% of your area median income. So it'll be a true mixed income development. There will also be 15% of the units will be set aside for mobility.
All right. So he says, and I'm going to just move forward because I got to get out of here, folks. It is 9:00 a.m. Good morning. Good morning. I'm Freddy Vasquez. I'm here with an early morning special regarding the real estate meeting that occurred yesterday in regards to a huge development that's going to be going on Woolworth. Check that out, folks. Check it out. So the city-owned properties, there are 11 lots, total 15, 4 privately owned, 11 owned by the city. They will be transferred to the YIDA. Not sure what the amounts of money are. And from the YIDA, they will be transferred to these developers using a private entity. So the YIDA will create a private entity in order to facilitate this transaction. I'm not sure why, and hopefully I'll get some clarity on that, right? And then according to the presentation here, those properties will then be sold to the developers for $1.9 million, and supposedly that money will be going to the city. However, it will have to go through private entities, the hands of private entities first. So will we get all that entire money? That's taxpayer money. We'll find out. But this is supposed to be 100% affordable. I'm confused here because they said it's nursing, senior living, I should say, and then 92 units, but then they also say 92 units affordable. Then they say 92 units. Then he said 94, maybe 92 to 94 units. But anyway, it's supposedly 100% affordable. They said it's senior living, and the range will be for individuals who make between 30% and 80% of the area median income, which currently is the Westchester AMI area median income. And 100% of that, 100% AMI is $127,500. That's for 4 persons. Okay, so if you are a family of 4, the area median income for family 4 in Westchester is $127,500. So those who will be, have qualified for these developments that will be built within 7 years, because they just said they got 7 years, so they didn't even tell you when, will be between those who make between 30% and 80% of $127,500. But they said that the heart of it, the majority of those that will be accepted into these buildings, right, will be those who make 60% of the AMI. Now, 60% of the AMI is $76,500 as it stands right now. So if they were to open their doors right now, today, and start accepting applications, the majority of the individuals that they would accept into that that development, that affordable housing unit, and again, I'm confused because they said senior living, the majority of them would have to make at least $76,500 a year. Now, they said it's between 30 and 80% the individuals there, so it's a true mixed income. But the majority will have to make at least 76,000. Now, on the low end, they will be having those who 30%, which is $38,250 a year. So individuals who make 30% of the AMI, which is $38,250, will also qualify. And those who make the highest, they will go up to is 80% of the Westchester AMI, and that 80% translates to $102,000 a year. So they will have folks there. Majority of the folks that will live there, let's just put it out like this, okay? I'll make it very clear. The majority of the people that will be qualified and accepted to move into this new development, this 100% affordable housing development, will be making over, or I should say, between $76,500 and $102,000. Now, is that true? I mean, is it senior living? They said senior. They're going to reserve 15%. They said 15% of the units for blind and deaf individuals. So, I mean, again, the majority of the people that will be accepted and approved to move in will have to make between $76,500 and $102,000. Okay. So, again, there you have it. Those are the facts. The one thing I didn't tell you, and I didn't go through the whole meeting, and I'm not sure if they mentioned it. I don't want to say they didn't, but I want to know how many units out of the 92, I want to know specific numbers. How many will be reserved for those making 30%, the low end of the AMI, 30%, which is 38,000? How many will reserve for the high end, 80%, those making 102,000? And how many, and what do they mean by the majority of units? How many is that will be reserved for those making 60% of the area AMI, of the Westchester County AMI, area median income, right? And they figured all this out, folks. Before they do this, they have to work the numbers out in their head because they have to make money. And now, again, you guys need to use Teamsters 456, Local 3, and other local guys. I don't want to hear that garbage that you said. And if you are using local labor, be very specific by what you mean by that, by utilizing local labor, all right? Use our guys. Now, Rubo, we're done with you. All right. I'm going to just be putting it out there. Councilman for the 4th District. You know what's up. You know what's up. You know what's up. You know what you're doing. Stop it. All right. I see it all over you. I see it all over you. You know what I'm talking about. We don't need individuals in our city, in that condition. That's my opinion. And I have to say that for legal reasons. That's my opinion. But you know what's up. You know what time it is. I'm going to go deeper. Give Freddy money. Hey, say not money, his permits, I should say, and let him get his contract so he hopefully can go away. Maybe. I'm just saying. I would never been here, but I'm glad I am. Because I'm Freddy Vasquez. This is Basement Politics, and I bring it to you raw, unbiased, unfiltered, uncensored. You know what's up, man. I don't think you should be chairing that real estate committee. I don't think so. There's much conflict of interest there. Lots of quid quo pro. But fortunately for you, your buddy Liam is the inspector general, and he's never going to investigate you, in my opinion. Never. You guys hang out at Rory's all the time. Slime. And you know what you like to partake in. I mean, it's obvious, dude. It's obvious, dude. Be easy, because it's obvious, dude. It's obvious. You know, the first time I spotted it was when you came on my show. Before we went live. I said, holy shit. Is this guy? Yeah. And then I've noticed it ever since. It's not good. No bueno. Jay Leno. I'm Freddy Vasquez. This is Basement Politics, Unfiltered. I'm a son of a bitch, ain't I? You guys started it. You started it.
Freddy wins.
And I'm going to end it.
Fatality.
Thank you for joining me, folks. This is the Morning Rush Hour Report, although there was nothing rushed about it. This is about the city of Yonkers, the meeting that took place yesterday, the real estate committee meeting that was chaired by John Rubo, councilman of the 4th District, who has a lot of incentives not to do the right thing within that committee. There's much conflict of interest. However, the now defunct Board of Ethics here in the city of Yonkers said it was okay for him to chair and vote. And then now they're defunct. They no longer exist. Strange. The connections. Dennis, Gallego, why? You guys no longer exist. Are you now helping your wife manage the committee for a better Yonkers? Who are the concerned Democrats? The Yonkers concerned Democrats, concerned Democrat, Yonkers, I don't know what you guys are. That is Jeffrey Sage from what I'm hearing, and Joseph Sage. They are behind that page. Susan Berger, how you doing? Did you see what those guys did? Unbelievable. Jamal Bowman, you see what they did? They're coming for you. They're gunning for you, Mr. Bowman. That's right. Susan, they're coming for you too. Yep. They don't want you to have any possibility. They're trying to ruin that relationship for you and MPAC. They don't want MPAC any helping anyone. Oh, I might talk about the caters again. Oh, he's a cater puppet. Anything you say, guys, to you haters does not bother me. Honestly, say what you want. It doesn't bother me. But anyway, who are these groups, these nefarious groups, these pages that they create? And then they target people and attack people. We're going to expose it all. And Rubo, you know what's up. You know what it's all about. You can't tell me you don't know nothing about the Committee for a Better Yonkers, Rubo. I dare you to say that publicly. I dare you to say that publicly. Yeah, you know, Rubo. It's time. It's time. I'm coming for you. Coming for everybody. Hey, May Scott. I want you to represent the 4th District. You should have been the one representing the 4th District. That's right. That's right. Time to get them out. Maybe they should do drug tests before you become council members. Makes sense to me. They make you do it if you want to get benefits from the government, right? I hear. Well, aren't council members getting benefits from the government?
Freddy wins.
Rubo, cut it out, brother. Cut it out. It's obvious now. Those who know. And what happens is when you get into a situation like that, you start to think that nobody knows. For some reason, you can hide it, but it's not able to. Trust me. time. It's time, brother.
Freddy wins.
It's time, brother. Folks, go check out my videos. Go check out. Thank you for everybody's support. I'm getting out of here. It's 9/11. 9/11. Yeah, I'm taking it down.
Freddy wins. Fatality.
Drug test our city council members, please.
Freddy wins. Fatality.
Because I'm hearing things on the street, allegedly, in my opinion, according to sources,
Freddy
and I say that all for legal reasons.
fatality.
So please don't let that distract you from the fact that it could be a fact.
Freddy wins.